issues during the broadcast, please call the Oregon Studio Hotline at 336-831-0864. Station's your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Duck's gonna pick it up, and here we go. Got him deep. He's open. He's got it. And he's gone.
How about that?
Oregon repeats as the Pac-12 champion.
Duarte pulls up, 3-ball. Bang!
LJ Figueroa!
Oregon goes back to back for the fourth time in the last 6 years. The Ducks are Pac-12 champions.
Foley three. Goal! Foley ball. Three is good. Diarra-Savali. Wing. Pow. Yeah, boom, boom.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
What a weekend.
We're just getting started.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, here's Joey Mack.
What a wild ride for Oregon softball. We're going to talk about that. We've got a number of different things to discuss today. Going on the air at 1 o'clock, there's been a lot of news this morning. And I want to shout out, Scott, go ahead, just zoom that camera in, will you? Just take that, take either camera 1 and camera 2, and just the trading card game has been crazy lately, as we all know, or maybe you don't know, but the trading card game has gotten just absolutely nutty. Well, Scott Phillips has been one of the people that's contributed to making it very nutty. That's Dylan Brooks right there. Oh, focus. Focus. Yeah. You just made a holographic card by doing that rack focus like that. That's what that looked like. Dylan Brooks. We've got a Dylan Brooks. This is rookie card? No, it's from this year. What a day, though, for Dylan Brooks. This is a new addition to the Duck Insider studio here at the Country Financial Studio. So we're starting with a little bit of the fun stuff today. There's a number of cards over here. Scott has piled them up. I don't even know all of that. There's so many of them now, I can't even keep track. So we go on the air with sort of a little bit of fun for you, and then we're going to transition to, a bunch of product stories. Also, I do really feel that if Phil Mickelson can win a major at 50, I think I can do anything. Right? I think so. Like, does everybody feel that way now? Congratulations to Lefty. That was awesome. I was actually talking to Terry Johns, who's the resident golf expert amongst the broadcasters. Well, Alex Simpson would get mad at me for saying that. But Terry's the old pro, and Terry was like, oh, it was awesome to watch. So we've got that to talk about. Oregon softball. Let me just say what an absolutely nutty day yesterday was. So let me paint you the picture, and this will be the picture from the broadcast side of things. The Ducks lose their first game. They win their next two. They're in the regional final. They're then delayed for 5 hours. Jordan Brenner and Michael Streit, who are out there for KWVA, we simulcast them on the Oregon Sports Network. Many of you probably tuned in. I just kept getting texts while I was doing the baseball game from Jordan being like, optimism for a 3 o'clock first pitch. Less optimism for a 3 o'clock first pitch. Optimism for a 4:30 first pitch. Less optimism for a 4:30 first pitch. Or the tarp is still on the field. So to Zach, who was back in the OSN studio, to Jordan, to Michael on the broadcast side, that was just our little version of it. Now for the Ducks themselves, holy cow. Seeing them singing and dancing in the rain was great. It was awesome. It was hilarious. But God, what a day. I did not think that I was going to be listening to an Oregon softball game at 11 o'clock last night, and here we are. Man, what a season. What a season. I think about a number of different games throughout a season when I sort of start to do like our look back segment that we're about to do. And for Oregon softball, it's amazing how that team rallied throughout the course of this season because they played such a difficult schedule. The Pac-12 was just a gauntlet. I mean, It was an absolutely crazy evening, and I want to talk about it in a little bit more depth for you. Also, Oregon baseball, of course, this weekend did not go the way that they wanted it to. Ducks dropping 2 of 3 to Stanford in a battle of what Mark Wasikowski called a couple heavyweight fighters, and it sure felt like that. Ducks are still in a great position to host a regional, but now for Oregon baseball, down the stretch, they got to win. With Arizona coming back a couple different times against Oregon State this past weekend, the Ducks have to sweep Cal Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week to clinch a share of the Pac-12 conference title. So it's still in front of them. It's still in front of them. And, man, I hope that we're able to be telling you about that a little bit more. Mark Wasikowski is actually going to meet with the media tomorrow, and we'll hear from him a little bit following that Stanford heavyweight fight that just didn't go the Ducks' way in extra innings on Senior Day. And, man, an emotional day for me at PK Park. 15 different Ducks honored. 13 players, 2 student managers in what's got to be the biggest senior day in the history of Oregon baseball and a lot of other sports probably around Oregon too, and even around the country. That's what the COVID rosters have led to, right? Are much deeper teams. But I think this squad has had so many guys that have kind of been through the wars for Oregon baseball, man. It was hard for me, even just sitting there in the press box doing the pregame show, sitting there going like, wow, like these are some dudes. Like these are guys that are just all over the all-time record book at Oregon. Gabe Matthews being the one that comes to mind immediately. He's the Oregon career record holder in hits, at-bats, RBIs, doubles, and he's in the top 10 in pretty much every other category that matters offensively. So, man, that was really something. That was really something. So this is cool. Josh just said what came on my Facebook memory was a year ago yesterday was the first time this show saw my comment and you answered. Let's go Ducks. Hey, I love that. That's great. Josh, what was the question and what did I answer? And was it any good? Was my answer halfway decent? I want to know. Josh, if you're still if you're with us here still in the 1 o'clock hour live, I want to know what the question comment was, and I want to know what I said and if it was any good. Let us know. Let us know. You know, I think now as we'll talk about a number of different things today, but let's talk softball. So, of course, on Texas State on Friday, I should say, the Ducks fell 5-1. The Ducks went 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. It was one of those where you're just like, man, what's going on? So then on Saturday, though, the Ducks come back and they win 2. They beat St. Francis and Texas State. Brooke Yanez was absolutely amazing in Game 2. This might be the play of the year for Oregon softball, to be honest. She takes a bunt to the first base side of the pitching circle, pivots, does like a basketball jump step, and then throws the lead runner out at third. And the best part about it is that the runner at third didn't even slide. She was so shocked that Brooke Yanez made the throw. She was like, well, what do I do? Yeah, I guess I'm out. Like, that was one of the best plays I've ever seen from Brooke Yanez. I thought we always talk about in baseball and softball, pitchers fielding positions. That was the epitome of a pitcher fielding her position. I mean, shout out to Brooke Yanez. That was incredible. So waiting a long time for the game to start. It was the one that we all knew everybody was kind of waiting for, Oregon and Texas. We thought that we were going to get it a couple days ago. Instead, it happened where Oregon lost Game 1, and so had to win their way into the regional final. And boy, did they ever. So an absolutely epic game to keep playing. The Ducks forcing the if necessary game. What a finish as well. And, you know, I think a lot about in postseason play, and I've said this about baseball a lot. I think it's true in softball. It's often not necessarily the best teams that win. It's A, the healthiest, and then B, the teams that just don't make mistakes. When the ball was dropped in center field that could have been the final out, I was like, oh. You know, you hate when stuff like that happens because I'm one of those fans that I see that happen even to the opposite team, and it helps Oregon, and I'm just like, you know, you just hate that. You hate it for the individual athlete. It's just no fun. Like, you don't want it that way, right? Fortunately for the Ducks, it didn't work out that way. They're able to go to extras, force the if necessary game. So now I want to take you all behind the broadcast curtain for a second. So I'm producing from afar, right? Like I was literally producing the broadcast from my couch. And what that means is that I was just following along, making sure everything was going good, trying to help out where I can. And really the real work was done by Jordan and Michael and Zach. And then I'm watching the ESPN feed. I've got this down to a science to sync up the broadcast to the video so that you get the hometown call. So Jordan had told us that they were under the impression that it was going to be no later than 11 o'clock local time they could start a game. Now, this was from, well, the rain delay is going on. There's so much delay and everything's happening. So I was like, okay, like they're going to play tomorrow. I actually texted Coach Lombardi after the game saying like, hey, congrats, looking forward to seeing another game. I thought it was because they were going to play tomorrow. Like I sent Coach Lombardi that text. She was very nice and responded to me this morning, which I appreciated. We'll talk with her on the show tomorrow, by the way. Her regular appearance on Duck Insider every Tuesday. We will have Coach Lombardi on the show live tomorrow. So I'm like shocked. Like Jordan, this was just the definition of how wild the day is. So I'm listening to Jordan on the post-game show. You know, everybody's excited, and our buddy Jordan Brenner, he just goes, I've just been handed on a piece of paper that we're playing another game tonight. I mean, it seems fitting that a crazy year has to end with like a crazy day like that, doesn't it? Now, it didn't go the Ducks' way. We know that. But man, Samari Diaz was great. Got the start with supers on the line. A 1-0 loss for the Ducks. Give credit to Texas, but what a definition of Pac-12 after dark that was. Right? You're not supposed to start after 11 o'clock local time. They threw the first pitch at 11:15 local time, maybe even a little after that, 11:15 local time. Past 9 o'clock on the West Coast. I mean, it was just crazy, absolutely crazy. And I wish it had gone Oregon's way. We all know that. Ducks had an opportunity in the 7th, got 2 on, couldn't get them in. Texas ends up winning. And what a pitching performance, though, all weekend long from Brooke Yanez. Mechanically Thermos came in and did some big things for Oregon. I think that's only going to help her moving forward now in the circle on the mound. And then Samari Diaz was great. I mean, I don't know. The whole time this morning I was thinking, like, how do you encapsulate what happened yesterday? And I think the truth is you can't. Like, that was just so many collisions of storylines. And, you know, I loved it. Jordan said it on the broadcast. If you heard it on KWVA and on OSN on the simulcast, Jordan said it like it was almost like there were so many forces working against Oregon and Texas being able to play that game. Like, you know, there's the idea of it's your former coach and Mike White coaching Texas, and the Ducks felt like, at least I felt like the Ducks got a little bit snubbed. I thought they should have been a regional host, and instead they end up having to go to Texas. They end up playing them, but they have to wait 5 hours to do it. It was almost like all these forces are working against this game happening. And then it's a wild game. It just, you can't sum it up. I don't even know how. And look, I mean, we're 12 minutes into the show, and I feel like I haven't even said anything yet. But that's how crazy it was. So all in all, Oregon reached 40 wins in a season for the 14th time in school history. This team was still really good. Do they wish that they were playing next weekend in the Super Regionals? Absolutely. But they still won 40 games this year for the 14th time in school history. They were the only team in the Pac-12 to play all of its games. That's wild. Brooke Yanez finished the season with the 3rd most strikeouts in a year in school history with 268. It would have been really hard to catch Sheridan Hawkins' record. Sheridan Hawkins' record probably going to stay for a long time. She struck out over 300. But I think Sheridan Hawkins is, if you're in the same conversation as a pitcher with Sheridan Hawkins, you're doing something right at Oregon. So Brooke Yanez did that. The complete game win in Game 1 for Brooke Yanez was also the 14th of the season for her. She didn't have to pitch near as many innings as Jordan Dale did a year ago, 2 years ago. But just thinking about how consistent she was, whew. Wild. Absolutely wild. Cruz also is someone that we will never forget. I loved Rob Mosley's tweet. He said, hey, that 16-17 recruiting class, I mean, that's names like Herbert, Ionescu, Hebert, Giovanna Matthews, Norman Zhang, Haley Cruz. That's a group of royalty around Oregon athletics. I mean, there's There's no doubt about it. Haley Cruz finishes the season, and her career is now a .378 batting average. That's 5th best in program history. Haley Cruz is also the only player in Oregon history to lead the team in hitting in 4 straight years. That's with names like, when I read that, I went, God, Janie Takeda never did that? Or, God, there's so many players that came to mind. Haley Cruz is the only one. Haley Cruz is the only one. Only player to lead the team in hitting 4 straight years. No other player, by the way, has ever led the team in hitting more than twice. And Haley Cruz did it 4 times. And there's been some really good players here at Oregon. The walk-off win in Game 1 was also the 4th of the season, and it was Tara McGowan's 2nd walk-off hit of the year. I think that Tara McGowan is going to be an absolute star for Oregon softball moving forward. Her season average got better and better. It seemed like as a catcher, she's got so much energy. I honestly, I love the way that she catches a game. There's just so much fire, you can tell. It was too bad to see it end the way that it did, but man, what a ride it was. I want to go through some of the season statistics, and we're going to hear from Coach Lombardi. She talked with the media after a very, very long day, and I believe they flew back very early this morning. So the Ducks, it's been a long 36 hours or so for Oregon softball. We're going to hear from the head coach, Melissa Lombardi, when we come back. It's Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union, looking back on what was a great year on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Hi, welcome to the Spicy Drive-In. May I take your order?
Can I get the spicy chicken sandwich,
The
please?
spicy chicken is an excellent choice, sir. And to drink?
Whatever's fine.
Oh, may I make a beverage pairing recommendation this evening?
Sure.
If we are feeling especially bold tonight, sir, I would recommend the Mountain Dew with that. It's bravely unrestrained with a very alive aroma that pairs wonderfully with your spicy chicken. It's followed by a hint of zesty citrus flavor.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
I'm sure you already know this, sir, but remember to appreciate the nose first by giving the Mountain Dew a little swirl to really volatilize it.
What?
To change the flavor compounds and activate your taste buds to get them fully primed for that chicken sandwich.
It's delicious.
Now you're getting the hang of it. The muscular flavor charge characteristics of Mountain Dew make for an absolutely epic mouthfeel when paired with spicy cuisine. It is quite on point, sir.
Dude, it's a perfect match. Like they were made for each other.
So true, so true.
When you want to make good food bolder and bold food better, do the Dew.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Learfield IMG College.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree
It's huge!
is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Scott Phillips always here, making sure that nothing goes wrong or making sure everything goes completely wrong, depending on your point of view. It's all about perspective. Scott and I talk about that a lot. The season for Oregon softball, though, I look back. Haley Cruz hit .389. Oh, actually, before I get to that, Josh says it was about Oregon baseball getting into the NCAA tournament, unfortunately canceled due to COVID. God, I wish that wasn't the question that but apparently my answer was spot on. I don't know what I said, but Josh, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. I hope that we're talking about Oregon baseball getting into the NCAA tournament this year. Sure looks like we will be. We're going to get to baseball here in just a second, but talking a little bit, too, about Allie Bunker. I thought Allie Bunker showed that she's a star. Allie Bunker, and then I think Alyssa Brito. She ends up hitting .299 on the season, had that critical home run in Game 1 yesterday. I think Alyssa Brito is going to end up being a middle-of-the-order hitter for Oregon for a number of years. She's that talented. I think about Hannah Delgado. I mean, so many names of players that are going to be coming back. Tara McGowan, I already said I think that she's going to be a star for Oregon softball. Maya Felder, Rachel Sid. I mean, there's some players now that it's amazing to read those names and go, God, they're all juniors now. You know, like those are all veterans here heading to next year. I think that this team is going to be just fine. We'll talk with Coach Lombardi a little bit more about that tomorrow, but some of the numbers too. I mean, talking about Brooke Yanez, who's officially a junior, by the way, a 2.11 ERA, a .94 WHIP, and 182 and a third innings pitched. Brooke Yanez was as good as you could ask for, and especially as Coach Lombardi has that reputation of building left-handed pitchers for the long haul. Boy, Brooke's in an elite category. Samaria Diaz, a senior, 2.76 ERA. What a season for her. Then I think that Reagan Breedlove and McKenna Clee-Thermos, we're going to see more of them moving forward. Coach Lombardi really likes the potential of those two. You give her a full offseason with some of those players, I think Oregon softball is going to do pretty well. Well, the full bracket saw a few upsets, not many. And I honestly guess it's back to pack time for the softball bracket. You know, it's always hard after you go through the entire season of you're kind of rooting against the Pac-12. Like, you want your team to be the best, but then once you get to postseason, you got to back the pack. Got to root for the Pac-12 in the postseason and hope that the softball committee looks back and go, yeah, maybe we underseeded the Pac-12 just a bit, because I think they did. Melissa Lombardi, a very proud coach, talked with the media last night. In typical, I'm going to say 2020 fashion, but end of 2021 now. After a crazy night, everything gets done via Zoom, and cameras don't work. This is the world that we live in right now. But Melissa Lombardi had some great, great things to say post-game after the Ducks season unfortunately came to an end yesterday.
Oh, I don't even know where to start. It was a long weekend. We got done late last night and had to play 2, and we were fighting for our lives. And then we had to come back, get up, come to the field today, sit around all day long. I thought our athletes did a great job of staying locked in and focused and ready and expecting to play 2 games. They did that. I love the fight that they had the first game. Love how they came back. I mean, that's been the story of this team all year. The team scores and then they answer. I thought Brooke's performance was excellent, and gave us the opportunity to win. I thought Burrito's home run. I thought Haley's double down the line, and then Tara coming up big to score Haley Cruz for the win. I love the second game, how they battled. I mean, Brooke was spent, so Samaria to come in and did what she did, and then pass the ball off to McKenna. We had some tough jams that we got out of, and we kept doing it. We just fell a little short. I'm so proud of this team, just to watch them transform from the beginning of the year to now. I don't know. I can't say enough. My heart hurts because they were right there, and I want them to get what they want, and we fell short. But I can't tell you how unbelievably proud I am of them and the fight and the will and how hard they want to play for each other and play for Oregon.
Did you think at all about sending Rachel on Ariel's grounder just because as the order's getting deeper, obviously I understand everybody's statistics. Did you think about sending her on the grounder there?
Yeah, it's a read play. It was tough because she was up already, and I can't remember the outs at that time, but it was a read play. It was a read play.
Your thoughts on the seniors and then the experience that the young players got going through this coming back next year?
I can't say enough about our seniors at all. Just Haley, and from the first day I met her to her super senior year and what she has done for this program, we are better. She has left this program better than when she first got here. Samaria, just to come in and take a chance on us. Maddie, same thing. Annalisa, I think about what she did as a freshman, coming in quickly when we needed her. Shay, just the growth and how she wears her heart on her sleeve. Like, all of them have left their mark on our program, and I will be forever thankful for all of them. You know, last year we had COVID and it canceled us. And so this year we had to experience things and grow quickly, This was the first time we got to play in the pack. You know, our first year we were trying to survive. This year we were wanting to win and had the depth to win. So to see them take on all those experiences and keep growing was amazing. And that's what we needed. You know, even just this weekend, going into our first postseason, there was only 4 athletes on this team that had been to postseason, and that's it. The rest were pretty green behind the ears. So I'm just really proud how they answered the first day, and for us to be taking Texas into game 2 and an opportunity to move on.
Do the seniors understand what they've built, like the foundation that they've created for this program? Because it really is, it's great.
You know what? They do. They do understand what they've built here, and they're very proud of it. And it's sad to see them walk away, but they all know they're walking away and things are in place. And I think that was the most important thing, for them to walk away and know that we're in a great situation. So I'm forever thankful to them.
Great stuff from Coach Lombardi. She was talking post-game, and I think you could just hear in her voice how proud she is of this team, and a team that does have a lot of pieces coming back for the future. And I think that's what's exciting. We'll talk with Coach Lombardi a little bit more about that tomorrow. She'll join us live on the show. And you know, I'm actually curious, for people that are tuning in, if you have a thought, you know, what do you want to know from Coach Lombardi? It'll kind of be our season wrap-up and look ahead to the off-season for him. You know, what's on all of your minds? I'm happy to pass along some of the questions, and hopefully I'll cover it all, but Lord knows that I never do. I try, as Scott said, but there's always something. So Oregon softball season, though, unfortunately coming to a close. And here's hoping that we're all talking about a pretty darn successful program here moving forward. I think Coach Lombardi's got it rolling after. Look, we all know that roster turnover. Anytime there's a coaching change, you're going to have some roster turnover. Then the Ducks feel like they're playing pretty darn well, and then the season gets wiped out. And then you get this year and felt like they could have hosted a regional and had to deal with availability of players and just all these different things. And I feel like really next year, if everything, and I know I need to knock on wood doing this, because God, if this year's taught us anything, don't take anything for granted. Find wood over there right now. That's wood. Thank you. So I'm about to say this, and I really hope that I'm not eating crow here later on, but this will really be in Coach Lombardi's 4th year, I think, the first true year of anything close to a normal year, right? The first year is your first year. Everything's wild in your first year. Second year, season gets wiped out with COVID. This year, it's still going on. Like, they're still dealing with that. And then next year, hopefully, for Coach Lombardi, it's like that can be sort of the take a breath. This feels like a more normal year. And to be honest, that's actually something that I'm going to ask Coach Lombardi, is if she's really looking forward to next year with that in mind. Because I think I am, and I think fans should be, you know? Like, we haven't really seen, in the last couple years, we haven't seen a full Jane Sanders Stadium. Like, even just that home field advantage, the Ducks have not been able to enjoy that. And I think that's a huge deal at Jane Sanders Stadium. Best softball facility that I've ever been to. And I've been to a number of them. I've been to every Pac-12 softball facility. I've called a series at every one of them. It's nowhere close. It's the Jane. It's the best. And the fans are what make it that way, to be honest with you. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of baseball. The Ducks didn't get the weekend that they wanted, but I think you'll hear some good words from Mark Wasikowski heading into the final regular season weekend. The Ducks are on the road Thursday, Friday, Saturday for baseball. More coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
After 2 years of construction, my wife and I finally moved into our dream home. So when a bathtub fixture broke, causing major water damage, I was glad we had the home insurance protection we needed. How do you know your home is protected? Talk to a Country Financial rep like me, Nick Simon. We can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Then if something happens to your home, you won't have any surprises. Need the right coverage for your home but not sure where to start? Visit TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local country representative.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. You out-salesmaned the salesman. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll have the info you need to get more for your future. Go to aceyourretirement.org, because when it comes to speeding past financial challenges, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Joey Mack back inside the Country Financial Studio, and, it's interesting thinking about all these diamond sports and how things are a little different. And here's why I say things are different in the diamond sports, because it's so often that you play back-to-back games. Really in basketball, you're playing in tournaments, and you have to get back up just for the tournaments. But baseball and softball are really the sports where you got to get back up and play pretty much the next day all the time. Well, for Oregon baseball, I thought on Friday, man, what a game. To be honest, so there are certain games where you walk away from, win or lose, and this was one of them where you just go like, man, that was just a great game. That was a good baseball game. We watched two really good teams play each other. That was Friday. To be honest with you, that was Sunday too. Saturday didn't feel quite that way, and I want to talk about that. So on Friday, I thought that this was the two best pitchers in the Pac-12 pitching against each other at PK Park. Thank you to the fans who came out. 641 was the maximum attendance we could have. There were 641 people in the stands at PK Park. Robert Ahlstrom for the Ducks, a Eugene native, a junior who has just absolutely pitched the lights out. I thought it was a Pac-12 Pitcher of the Year pitch-off against Brendan Beck. Robert Ahlstrom went 7 1/3, gave up 3 hits, a run, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, 1 off his career high. It was his 7th win of the year for Robert Ahlstrom. The Ducks were the first team to hand Brendan Beck a loss all year. Brendan Beck still went 8 innings. He pitched every inning that the Cardinal needed him to pitch. And the only mistake he made was a 2-run home run that Gabe Matthews hit in the 7th. Ducks end up winning the game 2-1. It was an awesome baseball game. Awesome baseball game. Brendan Beck is now 6-1 on the season. Robert Ahlstrom picking up his 7th win. I think that Robert Ahlstrom won the Pac-12 Pitcher of the Year on Friday. Still 1 weekend left. Who knows what's going to happen? Robert Ahlstrom's the Pac-12 Pitcher of the Year. I really believe it. I think he's going to win it. Anthony Hall made a diving catch in the gap that kept Stanford off the board in the 6th that ended the inning. And then later in that game, Anthony Hall is substituted with Colby Shade for a defensive replacement. And I started thinking to myself, like, man, how fortunate. You got a guy who can make a diving catch, and then you still on your bench have a guy that you feel like is a better defensive replacement in center field. That's a good baseball team. And that's what the Ducks are right now. So that was just a really fun Friday game, to recap it for you for just a second. Saturday, it was another one-run game, but it didn't have that same feeling. Felt like the Ducks didn't have that same, I don't even know the right description. It was almost like as a perfectionist, which I am, and Mark Wasikowski, head coach for the Ducks, is, and I think that he would be the first to say that you got to play as close to perfection as possible to be successful, particularly in the Pac-12. The Ducks didn't quite have it. Made some mistakes. Colin Kafka got in some trouble with 5 walks and an error. Didn't help in a 3-run third inning for Stanford. The bright spot, though, was that Isaac Aon did pitch 4 great innings of relief. The freshman, I thought, was outstanding. And this was cool because Isaac Aon actually gave up a home run to the first guy he faced. And then after that was great. Gave up 1 more hit through 4 innings of work. That, though, was really the bright spot. Yet, it didn't have that same, that was a great baseball game feeling because the Ducks didn't play their best ball, and they still only lost by 1 run. Says something about where Oregon's program is at right now. In the process of that game, Aaron Zavala scored 3 runs to become the record holder for Oregon in runs in a season. And we've still got maybe a month left with the way the Ducks are playing right now. Aaron Zavala, that dude's just been so consistent all year. He's been one of the best in the country. Top 5 in walks, top 5 in on-base percentage. He's been top 20 in batting average. He's been leading the conference in a number of those categories. And, man, it's just, whew. For a guy from Salem, he's killing it. Absolutely killing it. Aaron Zavala, I think, might be the Pac-12 Player of the Year. I think he's in the conversation. So Sunday's the rubber match. After a great baseball game on Friday, game that didn't go the Ducks' way on Saturday, Ducks jumped out to a 5-0 lead. And it's like, all right, here we go. Oregon was feeling really, really good, but Stanford battled back. I thought that it was an example of a game where early on Oregon had the lead, but they didn't quite throw the haymaker. To use the heavyweight example that Coach Wazikowski mentioned post-game that you hear in a moment. The Ducks didn't get a couple critical runs. For example, Kenyon Yovan had a chance to drive in a couple, didn't get it. Ducks had some other opportunities early in the game. When Stanford was quite literally on the ropes, the Ducks didn't throw that haymaker. Stanford hung around, started throwing some jabs back to the Ducks. Ultimately, in extra innings, it takes 12 innings to do this, but the Cardinal did come back and win 8-5. Ducks had a chance, though, in the 9th, the bases loaded, and this was where it was like, all right, Oregon's offense went absolutely cold in the late innings. But then in the 9th, they had a chance. And this is where sometimes it is a heavyweight fight, and baseball is just a terrible sport. Because 2 well-hit balls. Tristan Hanoyan comes up with the bases loaded and nobody out, or 1 out in the 9th inning. He hit a ball too well, actually. Hit it scorched it on a line right to the right fielder. Christian Robinson's got the best arm on the team. Ducks don't try to test it, and good thing they didn't because whoever was running home would have been thrown out. It doesn't matter if it was Jackie Robinson running for home. He would have been thrown out by a few steps with the way that Robinson threw this ball in. Because Tristan Hanoyan, if that ball is hit 3 feet shorter, Ducks win in the 9th. If it's hit 3 more feet past Robinson, Ducks win in the 9th. So Hanoyan, it was like, damn. That's baseball just is evil sometimes. And then Sam Nowitzki, he hits a hard ground ball. What happens back up the middle? The pitcher stabs it off the ground and makes the 1-3 put out. And, well, you get 2 well-hit balls with the bases loaded, and you get nothing to show for it. And it takes until 12 innings, and then Stanford finally able to get it done. And Colby Summers was out there for his longest outing of his career since 2019. He did everything that he could. It was a real pitcher's duel down the stretch, and ultimately the rubber match went to Stanford. So it didn't go the way that the Ducks wanted. In the process of that game, Tanner Smith did set a new single-season record for doubles in a season. He's now got 21. He broke Ryan Healy's record and Mitchell Tolman's record. They both hit 20 in different seasons. By the way, Gabe Matthews this year, he's hit 19. We might have 2 guys break the doubles record this year. So congratulations to Tanner Smith in the season again. Not done yet. The postseason outlook now is interesting. The Ducks, if they win out, they would clinch a share of the Pac-12 title. 3 games left. Got to beat Cal in all 3 of them on the road if Oregon wants a share of that Pac-12 title. And now where does Oregon project in the field of 64? I think they're still a regional host, but it does get a little bit more difficult. Mark Wazikowski met with the media postgame to talk a little bit about the series, the matchup on Sunday, and some of the big picture questions too. Coach Waz talking postgame.
Thoughts after the weekend, disappointed we lost. Extra inning game today, 2 one-run games. I mean, it was a heavyweight fight all weekend long, and it feels like it right now. I mean, just, my gosh, it was 2 very good baseball teams teeing off on each other, and they came out on top. It's disappointing. Proud of my ball club. Not disappointed whatsoever. in them, disappointed in the results for sure. And just obviously, we are still a program trying to learn how to win and learn how to win big games, and we didn't do that today.
Wise, I'm not going to fault you for living and dying on your closer, but when he's making his longest appearance in over 2 years, was there any thought in the 12th of going to Bro or Britton at that point because Colby had gone so long?
No, as a matter of fact, and Colby wanted the ball. On senior day, he wanted the ball, and his best bolts, he felt strong, and he's a horse. He felt strong. His best bolts were in that inning. He was up to 93, 94 in that inning. So no.
Obviously, runners on the corners went out in the 7th, and then loading the bases in the 9th and not coming through is frustrating. But 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, you didn't even really create situations like that. What's more frustrating, that you didn't even create some situations in the middle innings there, or that you weren't able to come through with that clutch hit when you had the chance?
Yeah, I mean, you're disappointed that you go 11 in a row guys in the middle of the game and 11 in a row guys at the end of the game. I mean, that's really disappointing to not be able to sustain, which is one thing that our offense has been able to do consistently this year. So what's different about that? The elite level pitching, you credit to Stanford. You say, yeah, they did a nice job. But I don't think the pitching was anything that we hadn't seen before. And so you go back to the fact that it's a big game, and you are a program that's trying to learn how to win big games, and that definitely takes some time to learn how to do that, and it probably takes some sting to learn how to do that, which is unfortunate. We had a 1st and 3rd situation teed up pretty good. We go into a double play. The bases loaded situation, we go pinch hitter. He hits an absolute bolt, but it's a sinking line drive to the right fielder, best arm on the team. And to tag up right there, he would have been, out by halfway to home. And the next hitter comes up and he smokes a one hopper right back up the middle, would have been a hit, and the pitcher fields it clean. You credit the defense there. And the hitters actually did a nice job in that inning of putting good swings on pitches. But overall, very disappointing that we had 2 stretches of 11 in a row where we didn't reach base during that time, and that's not a sustained offense, and that's usually going to contribute to losing.
Mark, it looked like you were going to blow through their entire pitching staff there the first few innings, but then those last 2 guys they had, really did a good job. In particular, what do you think about the job that Dixon did over his 5 2/3 today?
Well, I think both of those kids did a tremendous job. I will tip my hat to them. I like to think that we're a better offense than that, to be quite candid with you. When you basically go, 9 1/3 innings with 2 hits, with 4 hits, that's what it comes down to. And that's not the offense that we've had all year long. And so being out of character is something we need to address. Hopefully our young people understand we were out of character, and we can work on the things that are going to keep us in character in a big game, in a spot where, they still need a sustained offense, even though, maybe a guy's out there making good pitches or whatever it may be. I mean, we've been able to do that all year, and we didn't do that today.
The way the day was unfurling, when you were ahead, Oregon State was also ahead, and the day ends and you lose in extras and Arizona rallies all the way back. How do you feel of the big picture of going into this final weekend where you can still get to share things? That's still a goal. It's still attainable. But that an outright title is no longer possible.
Well, I haven't put any thought into all that. I don't know about all the scenarios and all that kind of stuff. It's disappointing. I'm still very proud of this baseball team. They've come so far, and we should all be proud of these guys. It's not like they showed up and just got stomped by a very good Stanford team. These guys were, battling and grinding with everything that they absolutely had, and we came up short. Very proud of the team I coach. If it is a deal where we can't win the league championship outright and all that kind of stuff, that's disappointing. That's one of our goals. That still doesn't mean we can't win a national championship, get into a regional, and do things that haven't been done here in some time. So we still have plenty to play for and plenty out there to be able to continue to improve upon in this program.
A lot to play for with 3 games left in the regular season. I'll have the call on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 6 o'clock, and 1 o'clock for Oregon's trip to Berkeley. Oregon baseball hitting the road. That means Alex Simpson will be with you on Wednesday and Thursday. And we got Terry Johns in on Friday. Looking forward to he's setting up an interview with Kelly Graves. We figured voice of Oregon women's basketball, maybe give you an update on the offseason and what's going on with Oregon women's basketball. Speaking of that, how about some products? We saw peanut butter versus jelly for the first time. in the WNBA. We're going to talk about that. I do want to project ahead, though, a little bit for Oregon baseball. We'll do that when we come back. Quick timeout. What's the postseason outlook for the Ducks? I still think it's pretty good, but the Ducks might be matching up with a powerhouse down south if they get that far to a super regional, if this projection holds true. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. Summer's finally here, and with a great deal on a new Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, and more, you can celebrate all of your favorite summer holidays, like Cinco de Mayo, Independence Day, International Pizza Party Day. Pepperoni, please. And by pepperoni, I mean Hawaiian.
Kick off summer at your Toyota dealer, where you can save big on all your favorites. This event ends June 1st. See your participating Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics. This is the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see? Every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hello, it's me, the designer jeans in the back of your closet. What happened to us? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Okay, maybe I never really fit you right, but I got a lot more Sunday fun days left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union. We're inside the Country Financial Studio. I saw Jack asking Lombardi, very dynamic name. My first question would be, is she related to the coach Vince in any way? No, I have asked her that. Maybe there's like some really, really long family tree branch that reaches out there, but no, I have asked her, and there's no relation to Vince Lombardi. So as it stands right now for Oregon baseball, the Ducks are sitting at 18-9. They're now technically a game and a half behind Arizona. If the Ducks sweep Cal this weekend, the Ducks would clinch a share of the Pac-12 conference title. Arizona would still get the automatic bid. It doesn't matter. Oregon's going to get into the field anyway. But that's what's in front of them. Now, that being said, Todd Miles and I talked about this weekend, and we both agreed that Cal has been getting better and better. And looking today at the latest Field of 64 projection that D1Baseball.com did, they also have Cal in right now. And if Cal wins the series against Oregon here Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Berkeley, D1 Baseball thinks that Cal's getting in. They're going to get into the Field of 64. There's a lot to play for on both sides here. Ducks for seeding purposes, maybe a share of the conference title. And for Cal, it could be for its season. Right now, D1Baseball.com in the latest projections this morning has Oregon as a 12 seed. The 12 overall seed in the tournament. So in the Eugene Regional, it would be Northeastern as the 4 seed, and then Georgia Tech as the 2 and Indiana as the 3. Ducks would match up if this projection holds true, and we'll see what the committee does on the selection show on Memorial Day next Monday. By the way, no show on Memorial Day, so we'll all be, to be honest, we're all going to be freaking out and figuring out what to do for the regional, and then we'll get on the air on Tuesday and talk to you all about it. But we would, Oregon, that is, would be matched up with Tennessee if this projection holds true. Now, there's still tournaments to be played. Ducks have to finish their season, but that's the way that it's projecting out right now. Oregon did drop in the RPI a bit after losing to Stanford. The Ducks are now 17 in the RPI. Stanford is 13. So the Ducks are in pretty good position RPI-wise. And in the latest polls, the Ducks are at number 9 in the coaches poll. D1 Baseball has them at number 10. And then I'm just going to go down the list for you. 10, 13, 13, 14, and then the NCBWA hasn't released theirs yet. The Ducks are still a consensus top 14 team in the country. They're going to host a regional. It's just a question on if Oregon can get a share of the Pac-12 championship, and if Oregon could maybe, we'll see, move up to, say, that number 8 line, and then they would be in line to host a super regional should everything go according to plan. So you never know, and we'll see what happens. Congratulations are in order for a good friend of ours, Manny Martins. The Oregon Women's Soccer Associate Head Coach has been named the head coach at Utah State. Congratulations to Manny Martins. His office has been across from ours for the last 3 years. And, man, I'm going to miss him. But congratulations to Coach Martins and best of luck to Utah State. And I hope that they're on the Oregon soccer schedule here soon. So, Coach Abel, if you're tuned in, we're looking for you. Good luck, though, to Coach Martins in all seriousness. Women's Golf NCAA Championships underway. This is all part of your Cafe 2-minute drill. A lot of things to tell you about. So, after Sunday, the top 15 would advance to the final round of stroke play. Ducks are in that final round, and it's going on today, actually. So, for Oregon Women's Golf, they were in a great spot. Right now, as we speak to you, the Ducks are only through holes 7 to 9, and they're sitting in a tie for 9th place. This is as of 1:50 here Monday afternoon. The cut line now, it was 15. The Ducks were part of the top 15 to advance to the final round of stroke play today. The cut line is now at 8. 8 teams advance to the match play. And they are currently, I've got currently tied for 9th. Yeah. I've got currently tied for 9th, and they're only down from the cut line by 1 stroke right now. So we'll see. This is going to be fun to track. Nate Kruger from the Oregon Sports Information Office has been out there updating you on the various Oregon women's golf social media channels, and there's a golf stat page that I've been tracking all day that's great. Brianna Chacon continues to be lights out and really, really good. What else is new? And sophomore Xingsu Chen, known as CCT, led Oregon with a 1-under-71 for the second day in a row yesterday. And Coach Radley was very impressed. Let's just put it that way. So the Ducks, for women's golf, are feeling pretty good. Let's hope that they can get to that match play portion, because that, to be honest, then anything goes. I mean, then it's, oh, man. That's when golf, I think, is actually at its best, and it gets to be the most fun. A tremendous accomplishment for one Oregon women's tennis player, and also some Pro Ducks updates for you. We got a guy who just made Team USA. Tell you about that when we come back, wrapping up your 2-minute drill. Always brought to you by Cafe Yum next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
On March 5th, 2021, we lost a larger-than-life member of the Oregon Ducks family. Chris Bjork passed away surrounded by his wife Allison and their 3 sons, Anders, Henry, and Jordy. After spending more than 26 years working with the University of Oregon, we are proud to establish the Chris Bjork Scholarship Fund in his honor. Go to goducks.com/Bjork Scholarship. That's goducks.com/Bjork Scholarship to make a contribution and help us remember a great Duck.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you in the Country Financial Studio. Thanks for being with us. And, you know, it's always cool when you get somebody competing in the NCAA championships, and, well, that's what we've got right now, which is awesome. So we told you a little bit about women's golf. And, by the way, those of you who are live with us in the 1 o'clock hour, the Golf Channel just started their coverage of the NCAA tournament. Championships, I guess is the better way to put it. The NCAA championships for women's golf. Oregon, again, right near the cut line. They need to be in the top 8 to keep playing and on their way to a national championship. We hope. Your Cafe Home 2-minute drill, though, I want to continue because women's tennis, Janice Jen rolled to an opening round victory at the NCAA singles championships yesterday. She beat the number 45 player in the country, 6-2, 6-2 on Sunday morning. She moved to 19-2 on the year in singles play, Janice Jen did, and now has won each of her last 7 singles matches. That was yesterday. Well, this morning, she moved on to the round of 16 in the NCAA singles championships. An absolute dominant performance against the number 4 overall seed in the tournament, Katarina Jokic of Georgia, 6-1, 6-4. I mean, dominant by Janice Jen. So got off to a strong start in the opening set, and the true freshman is now rolling. Just the second Oregon player ever to reach the round of 16 at the NCAA Singles Championship, joining Daria Panova, who did it in 2003. That's cool. That's awesome. No Duck has ever advanced beyond the round of 16 at the individual championship, and that's what Janice Jen is looking to do. The start time for the match on Tuesday, we're not sure yet, so stay up to date on the Oregon women's tennis social media because good luck to Janice Jen. This is awesome. First Duck since 2003 to make it this far and could be the first Duck to ever move past the round of 16 in the singles championships. She's now 20-2 with the 2 victories this weekend, by the way. She's won each of her last 8 matches. Great stuff from Janice Jen. Pro Ducks WNBA matchup. We saw Sabrina play Ruthie, and, well, Sabrina beat Ruthie. 19, 5, and 12 points, rebounds, and assists. Said at the start of the show, Dylan Brooks has become an absolute elite defender. He also went off for 31. The Grizzlies win. And good luck to former Oregon pitcher Jimmy Sherfy. He has been selected to Team USA with Olympic qualifiers getting underway. Congratulations to Jimmy Sherfy. We wrap it up with your Cafe Up 2-minute drill. See you tomorrow.
Tweens have mastered the art of tuning out. Jen, there's a spider in the car. We're turning your room into a home gym. See? Nothing. But some messages need to get through. Like making sure they're buckled up the whole ride, every time. Do whatever it takes to make your child listen. Jen, I friended your boyfriend.
Wait, what?
Buckle up, sweetie.
Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
To buy your home